So I had quite a few comments and messages on Discord, actually, about warriors soloing Utgard Keep. Prop warriors in particular, because they do insane AoE, and obviously their survivability is very good. So I thought, well, hang on, I'm a Feral Druid. Surely I can do it. Well, on the basis of recent tests we done, we noticed that the NEXUS actually yields a lot more XP for a full run than Utgard Keep does. I thought I'd go straight to the NEXUS. I am going to try Utgard Keep, and that will come in a following video. And whilst it's not easy, and yes, you will need gear, so the odds of being able to do this as a fresh character on the fresh RAF servers is highly unlikely unless you get very, very lucky during the pre-patch gear-wise. There's thousands and thousands of Feral Druids out there that are fully Sunwell geared or fully tier 6 geared like Black Temple, Mount Hyjal, who will be able to do this quite comfortably. The first mob is probably the hardest, which is the Azure Magus. I would say this gatekeeps the run, really. I've done probably 4 or 5 runs in here now, just doing 10-minute runs just to see how far I can get and how much XP I get. And every run I do is getting better and better. So I'm going to keep working on this over the next few days and see how much I can really nail it down. But it does just come down to clever use of cooldowns and not being scared to actually run away and heal. But with Nature's Grasp having free charges and being able to be used indoors, it's an absolute lifesaver, and you can more or less get a pack of 3 mobs and split them up and just take one down at a time. It's only on a 1-minute cooldown as well, so if you are going to try this, just use it quite regularly. But amongst using that and then using Berserk on cooldown to absolutely obliterate 3 mobs at a time, it's actually quite comfortable. I even soloed the first boss, which has got 2 healing adds, and whilst it was a little bit messy, and again, it was one of my first attempts, which I could absolutely refine a lot better than this, it's still yielding very, very good XP and very, very good results. And at the end of the day, it's a dungeon, so it drops lots of green items and stuff like that. So if you're enchanting on your druid as well, you're going to be in luck. If you was just to do 12 to 14 minutes and just take it fairly easy and only kill up to basically the first boss and a few more trash packs. When I said I killed the first boss, I didn't mean the mage, by the way. I mean the little sort of mini boss that you've got that guards the book for the quest. But I think if you just cleared up to the first boss, which is the mage, that will probably take you about 12-13 minutes, and then you can just reset and do it again. Now, after a few runs of trying to refine this and really get it down, within about 10 minutes I was getting just past the first mini boss, somewhere sort of in between the first mini boss and the first actual boss being the mage. When you get the packs of 3 that are in the ice cubes here, it's probably worthwhile waiting for Berserk, but what you can actually do is just make sure you're pulling 1 or 2 at a time whenever Berserk's not ready. So if you get to the point like I did here, where actually my Berserk was on cooldown, I didn't want to take all 3. I just stealth past, go and kill the trash where I can just pull 1 mob at a time, and then when Berserk's ready, I go back and finish them off. Now, I'm sure there's lots of classes that can do stuff like this, but some of these mobs do actually hit really hard. In particular, you want to get the Berserkers down fast because they have a stacking frenzy buff. So if you've got 2 Berserkers and a Ranger, for example, as long as you're stood on top of the Ranger, it doesn't do much damage. And if you look here where I'm just one-on-one with a Ranger, I rarely even leave 100% health, and that's without using any cooldowns or healing. When it comes to the Clerics, I just try and backpedal pretty much all the time. So as it's about to cast Flash Heal, I'm already moving, so I can very quickly get a Feral Charge in. Because it's a Flash Heal, it's a short cast, so if you're not already moving, it's unlikely that you're going to get time to get out and charge back in. Obviously, once you've interrupted one like that, you know you've got Bash. Now, you could nuke through these hills quite comfortably, because they only heal for probably 7 or 8% of the health. It's not that much. But if you do just want to maximise the amount of XP an hour you're getting by reducing the amount of healing they do, just backpedaling for that first heal so you can get an interrupt in is definitely worthwhile. But you'll actually see I do a lot of movement even when I'm killing packs of mobs, because I'll simply use Nature's Grasp so 1 or 2 of them gets rooted, so I can then just nuke 1 down at a time, or if I want to take 2 at a time. It's a great ability to use for a bit of space to get some heals in as well. So if you're at like 20-30% health, pop Nature's Grasp, wait for them all to get rooted, so make sure you're doing the minimum amount of damage at a time so it doesn't break, and then just back up, put some heals on, and go straight back in. Out of all of these first mobs, there's none that are too dangerous other than, as I say, when you get 2 Berserkers and a Ranger, but as long as you've got Berserk ready, and maybe Bark Skin, even Frenzied Regen if you really need it, you're not going to have an issue at all. I was doing all of this without any buffs other than an Adamantite Weight Stone on my weapon, and I also had absolutely no healing potions or anything like that. Occasionally I used a Cobalt Frag Grenade to actually interrupt a healer, so if you're engineering and you've got frag bombs, that'll be useful. But when I charge in, use Berserk and go absolutely ham using Maul, which, by the way, it's worthwhile having Glyph of Maul so you hit 2 targets. It really don't take long to dispatch of 2 or 3 mobs at a time. I don't really intend on going a great deal further than I'm showing you in this video, but if I manage to refine everything so well that I do have time to get even further, then obviously I will. But in the 10 minutes of this run that you're actually watching, I ended up getting about 70,000 XP. So 70,000, I'm rounding up, it was like 69,800 or something, but 70k. And that was in exactly 10 minutes. I stopped the timer and looked at the XP after exactly 10 minutes. So if you was to take a few minutes off for the run out and the run back in, you could comfortably get about 400k XP an hour, which at my level, being level 72, you're looking at just under 4 hours a level, which would be quite comfortable. I am going to recopy my druid over and try it at 70. I don't see me having any problems doing it at 70 because actually I've not replaced a single piece of gear or anything like that. So of course I'll have a little bit more stats, but I don't think it's going to be too uncomfortable doing it even at 70. Might just have to take some of those free packs a little bit more seriously and make sure you're using Nature's Grasp very, very efficiently. But overall, this is just the first test that I wanted to share with you druids. And as I've got more to show, as I'm doing this over the next few days, I probably will actually even give this a go on stream later and see how quick I can get it down. And I might even try some different routes rather than actually just keep going the same way, because I might find other routes more comfortable. But really, if you can kill the first mob, which is definitely the hardest, you'll probably have no problem getting to the point where I get to in this, and you're looking easily at 70,000. I reckon with a little bit more practice, I could probably get 80 to 85,000 in 10 minutes. And if I consumables, definitely 80 to 85,000 every 10 minutes, which now we're talking, that's really, really good XP an hour. But I will keep you updated. This was just a short example of what I'm actually trying at the moment, so you don't think I'm just sitting around in a hot tub. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out Rested XP in the description or the pinned comment. And roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes, everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name, and you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.